Day footwork. Footwork training. I'll show you how. And tomorrow is a sparring day. So I got my helmet, my shoes. And yeah, basically having it day to day. Anyways, gotta work out a little bit. The workout. Lighter weight. This is the workout. Hello, Miguel. Yeah, it's a funny one. So basically, warming up all the joints. I mean, it can get a little boring most of the time, but those are like basic sensations. So better not neglect them. Hello, hello. Hi. So since I started wearing boxing shoes, ordered them from the basically online, and yeah, once I started putting together with the boxing shoes, my inner the inside arch of the boot was quite sore for the first couple of days, so it indicates on the slightly different dynamics. Should do the reverse dumbbell clavicular extension. Sure, why not? So far I'm just going to stick to this. Transition boxing, at least to me, the best. I've been managing to get the best strength improvement with those exercises, but it's all about the patterns and the muscle group. So there are many other exercises that can be basically similar, having a similar effect on all the similar muscle groups or close enough. It's all also just up to personal choice. Whew, okay, let's see. We have a landmine here. All I'm gonna do is through the back. So it's a 20 kgs. Farmers, and then backpack and cables, maybe five. Yeah, starting. Hi, hi. Yeah, thanks, Miguel, for moderating all the nasty and also comments. Gonna just fade from the channel. Okay, moving to the next one. If I do landmine again, I'm not gonna make sense because I need to rest. Yeah, I will need to rest long for like at least 15 minutes. It's more of the grip. I think when I can do deadlift 60, 70, there were times where I could do one rep max 100 kgs. So, but again, gotta be careful finding a balance between, not hurting yourself, because that is also always a risk with the strength training. Lower repetitions, higher weight, but then also you gotta manage. Be careful with the joints and trust your feeling as well. So since I'm not really an ego lifter, good for me. That helps me. Like I always stop if I need to. Keep the grind, sister. Thanks. Appreciate it, and you too, guys. Always hustling. Keep up the hard work. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, and let's try this. Try and a half. Pull-ups versus chin-ups. I'm thinking those. When you do chin-ups, it's more biceps oriented. When you do pull-ups, it's more sort of like a brachialis section. So you see even here difference. Biceps, yeah, obviously it's partially engaged, but in this position, the curl goes on the so-called brachialis, and obviously back also gets involved. It's my own weight. I think 5'6" clean. So that makes sense. But that's good. That's a good range. So I'll keep 2.5 as the additional weight on pull-ups at this point. Obviously, once I can do more, I'll do more. But yeah, let's just get moving. So now I'll time, just put it this way, that should be fine. There, not a single soul downstairs on training right now, so I think I can afford it. I'll set up 15 minutes. Okay, so 15 minutes. And basically, let's do some boxing footwork, moving in, moving on sideways. I'm gonna use the back for it, and especially tomorrow there's sparrings, so definitely will need my footwork. So yeah, every time we do the work, or I do, like every time while doing the work, just set a task and have a purpose for doing it, not just for doing it. Okay, starting. Yeah, put the I'm not gonna put the gloves yet. because obviously this kind of side component, trying to take it easy. Not like it. Very crazy aggressive. One, two, bounce a lot. Get used to that feeling. Yeah, my feet still hurt by the way. After using the shoes. But yeah, it's more just consider it as up here. More like sudden up here. Okay, okay. And you got it over here. It's easier to rotate. Let's the hub today. Whew. One to two. Here is it. Two. Dragon. Emo face. Let's do the biceps. And someone has to go to my definition. Well, my back definition is getting crazier, actually. Islam said he's going to fight Kamaru Usman, so we are going to witness Jones versus Stipe at 170. These guys are willing to take zero risks. I mean, I also can make sense. It's a gradual step up, and UFC definitely doesn't mind do that. I mean, Kamaru versus Islam is interesting enough, but that was a good analogy. Jones versus Stipe. Yeah, so you got this. So it's just a matter of time. I mean, if he faces all the welterweights, including Shavkat and Morales, which I see them giving it harder time. Pradis Yangari is interesting, maybe, but still on those two, I think heavily on Islam, towards Islam. So it's yeah. I mean, as long as he does. I mean, if he's active, if he does it just twice a year fighting, I can't say anything. But more and more champions are, more and more people are on the Mirab. Let's go that way. And Mirab kind of showed it that being too active is also risky. So there are a lot of things that might get controversial. I just get exhausted. Actually, don't forget this is more like the active rest. Next Landmine, farmer squats and pull-ups. comfortable space. Really easy. People think that, oh, it's easy to concentrate. Well, it's easy, there's punches everywhere. But when you try to picture, no, when you just try to do shadow boxing like that. But yeah, it's actually harder to have that type of imagination to do that. The footwork and punch speed is lower than me. You know what? I will let you think that way. You know what's better one good analogy, actually, or one good example. Uh, the Marcus versus Pacquiao. Well, I don't remember which one. They fought like 4 times, but I think it was a series of 4 fight, where they already know each other's technique. And Pacquiao is faster, is more explosive, but timing-wise and by pacing correctly, but so you don't get it. It's better for you. Here I sit. I don't know. In my opinion, how it's inspiration. Just like saying things like, your parents must be the same. Like, that is going. I don't know how to yeah. It's about basically about living the best life, making the best choices. I don't think it's only about yeah, like for that. But people in the find right on anything. If you're a man, you're a woman, you're a child, you're a person doing cooking or just minding your business or training or whatever. I mean, I understand that I put myself here on each one, but I have a message. I got a message. I got an example to set, and I'm gonna keep going, keep doing that. If even a single person gonna get motivated, and that helps them to believe that they can do better in their lives, I'm gonna keep going with it. But people are gonna hate it. People just there is no reason for the hatred or for negativity. People just do that. They're in a bad mood. They're not happy about themselves. They just want to troll. You know, like in the South Park when was it Randy? Was it Cartman's? No, not Cartman's. I forgot. But you, if you know South Park, you know that episode. You know, from a good citizen, good neighbor, good father, good husband, like a crazy ass troll. Привет, mom. My mom is in the chat. Say hi. It's Beauty Tbilisi. That's my mom. Hello. She's there seeing it for wheel. Those martial arts, she's doing it. Hello, dance mom. Let's all try to do that. So, a lot of things that's possible to do. What does your body weight in kg? Right now it's oh, that's sweet. I hope she sees that. Gotta go some water. Got offered to do the cold plunge, but not now, not today, for a few reasons. But one of the reasons is that doing, and that's for hypertrophy training, and generally, it's recommended if you want to get the strength training effect and hypertrophy training, especially hypertrophy training effect. It's better to do on the rest days, like the off days, generally. I think it's actually 20 more seconds basically. And I'm gonna go back to the strength set. Yeah, I can. I know Russian fluently, by the way. My mom is fine. My mom's half Russian, half Ukrainian. So I've been coming from the Russian speaking family, both Russian and Georgian speaking family. Are you already exhausted? Today I am. I'm not gonna tell you why. There is a difference between men and women when it comes to training. You can guess why I'm not the strongest today, but it's not the reason to bail on training. That's what the women athletes, uh, someone who wants to get competitive, get in a good shape. This is a brutal reality women have to face, but they have their periods, and it's like a triangle type of cycle. But just because they're like a few days of the of the months, they are like really hyper strong and hyper good, and then it's kind of like an uphill and downhill. It doesn't mean that you gotta stop progress and the training. But then it also makes sense to do tactically, like normal pacing, just throw some punches, muscle adaptation, that type of training. I do some strength too, and I don't feel 100%, but um, I will be fine. If I делаю это сам. Yeah, I just said, делай. Hello. Hello. When it comes to strength, it might not be also 100% good today, but I already skipped 2 or 3 days. So I decided just to go for now with whatever I have and just keep going. Then it's gonna keep getting better. Another fun fact, that's why in pro boxing, the promoters and teams try to schedule fights around both female fighters' cycles. That doesn't work on the Olympic. That's why amateur. That is one of the struggles of the amateur boxing, and it's struggle with the women who have irregular cycles. In my case, it's regular. It's like a day to day, once in 28 days, so it's easy to work around it. But yeah, I mean, females facing when it comes to sports, and like I think the guys who actually been on and off TRT, for example, or on and off the bodybuilders, or someone who just tried some steroids, they might understand how it feels when they would do the cycle and they get off of it, or especially when they would do a long cycle or stay like 1 or 2 years and then get off of it. They're like all of a sudden natural testosterone production gets suppressed and all that kind of stuff. And it's like I've seen that. It looks like it feels the similar-ish. That all of a sudden draining energy, lack of motivation, this and that. But yeah, just a little awareness when it comes to that. Both in men and women, hormonal background determines a lot, and that's one thing that works very differently in men and women. But the effects, when it gets low, can be quite similar. I'm in Vietnam. Okay, what do we have? Uh, you don't have to tell anything else. Well, I'm telling it because of the awareness. This is one of the parts of longevity principle in sports. Understanding an athlete's body and working around those things. Same you would work around certain injuries. Same you work around, um, you know, choose a right weight class for the combat sport performance, all that kind of stuff, guys. Such a beautiful country. Appreciate it. Russian is much more difficult. It is. It actually is. But I think Georgian is even more difficult. So Georgian is first, then Russian, and then English. Okay, let's go. Okay, now we back to the Landmine. So three exercises, Landmine, part repetitions, 20 kgs. Taking 20. Okay. Next one. The farmer squat. Hello. As I said, 20 barbell, but because it's one side of it, I'm not sure that 20 barbell is having a full impact. So count it as how much extra we can use. And almost 9 times. Wait. It's also dynamic. Farmer squat, more. Like it's harder to use that stretch, but I actually technically can do more. But today I'm gonna stick to it. Next time I'll try to increase the weight. Maybe 55 or even 60. We shall see. Oh, there are kids. A kids BJJ class up there, and they are always like that. Yeah, Chris is not now here. He's been working lately a lot at night, like our night, and he's sleeping most of the day right now. So I'm just letting him rest as much as he needs. Okay. And the last one. Put it on my back. So here we have 2.5 kgs. Yeah, 2.5 extra. I cannot do like I usually would do 5, 6. I can do 2 reps right now. Oh, good recommendation. Oxygen is right. You're right. Yeah. Thanks God. We have autonomic, like breathing is autonomic, part of the autonomical processes where you just, but it's good. It's good to focus to regulate it, obviously. It's good to rest, though, because it's highly anaerobic, like strength cycle, like that kind of training is right now anaerobic. The oxygen recovery it's easier when you are with high intensity, and then obviously it also affects your capacity to talk and maybe orient clearly. If you see some hardcore endurance training, people cannot recover their pulse within a few minutes sometimes. The reason why I'm doing what I'm doing and the way I'm doing is for the strengths, extra strengths that is basically going to be converted into the power while punching and like creating that power impact. Guys, just please don't write anything abusive or bad things after saying hi. You are representing the whole country with you. Yeah, you do, guys. Hi from the UK. Hi to the UK. Yeah, don't worry, guys. If you have that power, just moderating. So you don't like some, you don't like someone behaving a certain way, you can just warn them, time them out, or just delete from the channel. Whew. Okay, timing another 15 minutes of time, and okay, so yeah, time is on. Gonna do some light work on that again. We just trying to work on the basically standing in front of opponent. You know that, like, I believe that happens to all of you and all of us guys. Like, you use some movement, you feel okay, you can do it, and then in front of the spark you become super tight on your legs, which is obviously a problem, right? Like, yeah, so it's not only physical work, it's quite mental work as well. And gradually, it takes sparring, so obviously. By the way, tomorrow is a sparring day, and I'm gonna be able to live stream it, so it's gonna be fun. 6 o'clock, around the same time as now, so you can tune in and gonna be able to see just basically us sparring and doing some work. Good morning to you too. Yeah, nice Friday. Yeah, well, say, in reality, it's gonna some of it you have to work like that. That's the way one thing that I need to work on is and then this is control, leaves and sleeps. Again, not just like obviously doing that way really works. Like, yeah, keep it right hand to hold this good. Like, to position, opponents, front hand, and counters, and you come up, we counter punches. So, essentially what it works, what you make work, practicing certain things that you cannot make work for now, but you want to get better at. I prefer loose clothes. Uh, I don't know. It was opposite to me. Maybe it's opposite for you, but it's super hot here. And whenever I wear loose clothes, it still gets thick. And it's not like it's just, tight and that's it. Yeah, you can get through, but just take them off, shower, that's it. With the loose clothes, obviously I would wear more loose shorts for the fight. But I'll probably find some shorter ones because the long ones literally, like, it gets so sweaty and sticky on the thighs. It's like it's almost hard to move. I've been struggling with that in the hot climate with basically all the amateur boxing uniform. You know that uniform? And as a woman, you still need to wear something underneath. You would wear, like, for guys, it's easy. Just for us, we still have to wear a top or t-shirt or something, and that thing on the top. So yeah, it's kind of it's up to your preference. That would be colder here, And actually, I had some training back in Georgia. It was already cooler. And yeah, I'll wear tights, more loose shorts. Voice is a little low. Hard to understand what you're saying. Hold on. Mics, let me know. Okay, let me know now if it's better when I step away from the camera. Oh, it's an interesting question. Let me imagine it because I'm not a southpaw, actually. I'm an orthodox myself. You see, the picture is getting flipped. So I'm an orthodox myself. And like every orthodox, it's a little hustle to, it's better, yeah? Okay, yeah, it's just something's wrong with the mic. Sometimes it gets disconnected or something. But yeah, basically, what's going on here is, as a southpaw, or even if you're orthodox, when you have like your meeting with the front sides at the same time, basically mirroring each other, there is an advantage for someone who has an outside foot ahead, right? The front foot outside and ahead. So southpaws are usually used to work that way. They're more comfortable just pressing. But your job is here, literally. All you need is just let it slide that way and then counter, like use a lot of basically left crosses. I remember I've been caught all the time before. Now I would change something about it, but one of my closest friends, she's a good southpaw, and she's like very good boxer. And she would just always had that step outside. It was almost impossible. You try to get ahead, she would always get ahead because she's just she's used to moving that direction. And she would just move slightly more. So she's from the safe space. Unless you change the angle and you know how to manage southpaws, you get outside basically from the punching range. So there is nothing from here to punch you. And then this one is literally set up. So I guess that's from an orthodox perspective. This is one way to do it. But if someone in the chat is, yeah, it's too irritating to fight southpaw who imitate. Yes. Yes, that's true. But I think they are not expecting what southpaws are not expecting. They're right here, and they try to catch you in this gap, right? So keep your hand, like keep your right hand and your jab. You can just like keep long guard more. So don't give them that opening, but then try to switch. All of a sudden, just extend your hand. All of a sudden, you're switching the angle, and you are catching them. That one is working. One thing also obviously works that you learned moving outside. So you basically, instead of moving to the right side, you would just move more to the your front side direction. And that's quite natural if you do a lot of jab, side, jab, side, jab, side. You basically just try to exhaust them in their own game. But again, that I'm telling you might not be that easy. But that's something you can train on and obviously do successfully. And obviously you can do like pump, pump, step. And then you just can switch angles slightly and go catch them on the right and exit from another side. Another thing is, I guess, with
in any uncertain situation, unless it's a very good distance work, like distance boxer, just get in, especially with the southpaws. Just get in with a push the hand, and understand that if you manage to get under their jab, like front hand, their liver is exposed. So it's actually harder to do with the orthodox against orthodox, in my opinion, because you are alternated sides, and they do basically the same you do. But there, just get in, press them, sleep through slightly, give them a strong liver shot, maybe hook to the hand. So you can try to work on the closer distance. Also try to have your leg ahead of theirs too. How much it costs for training? You can email me, contact email, and I do some online trainings and online work. I also launched the course, so uh, you can check that one on my LinkedIn. That's more of a working platform, so you can check it out as well. This is pre-recorded? No. Okay. Uh, yes, it's easy to throw a liver punch on the southpaws and orthodox. I mean, yeah, you gotta work on something, whatever you have, right? Do you think Conor McGregor can really give a boxing advice to Mike Tyson from a technical standpoint, or was the more of the foolish move, or just him playing his role? Everyone has different style. Well, someone just was recording. They actually seems to have having a little bit friendly high gathering. They were definitely under the alcohol and probably some other influences, and that happens. I mean, that's just like, who can judge him? He didn't do anything wrong. All he was doing, he was just, and he was not teaching Tyson what to do. He was just talking about Canelo Crawford thing and how Canelo, like better, like was supposed to do the deal, and Tyson was just like, I don't think he was. I think he was just high or drunk or something. He just like, ah, McGregor wasn't saying necessarily anything bad. I mean, that little section that he said wasn't necessarily bad. It's always good to be able to work up and down. I'm not saying it would work against Crawford necessarily. Or Connor would be able to do that against the Crawford, but generally it wasn't like a horrible advice or anything like that. So just a funny clip, and the Tyson's reaction was gold, and yeah, it's just hilarious. But I didn't have much judgment to it. I think they were just having a good time. Yeah, he was listening to so much focus. I think an actual boxer who tried different stuff and was specialist in one specific style and was one of the best. Actually, I mean, unless it's like some advice from someone who is completely like, not in martial arts and just talking nonsense. Like Connor probably watches boxing fights, and even if you're not the best boxer, you might be a good observer, and you might be, what, like if he did that, and then you would rewatch fight, and you were like, maybe that could work. Well, boxing at that level, the timing and the pacing changes, and the boxers are good at, like the elite boxers are good at breaking those. So obviously, what Connor was showing wouldn't work forever. That might work a couple times, but then Crawford, as the most fluid boxers of the modern time, he would just adapt and come up with something else, obviously. But yeah, that was like a harmless, funny clip, and I don't know, like I don't get that much hate towards it, to be honest. I do high guard with the weight of 180, 40 by 70, and I'm efficient. Like I'm not too tall, but I'm still trying to find the best style for me. Yeah, it's all about trying. I'm doing the same. I'm trying here. Do you really think Connor is not a good boxer? Me, I don't think he's a bad boxer at all. He actually has a good boxing posture. He has definitely good. The point is he never did an actual boxing, uh, and because he was doing MMA, a lot of kicks, a lot of, so he's having definitely good, one of the best uh, MMA boxing. But every MMA boxer, they're usually not a clean boxers. And the certain habits you just acquire, whether as a boxer or non-boxer, it doesn't matter whatever martial art you do, it kind of follows up. It's hard to break certain habits, and as much some things might work, but like MMA striking is way more like execution of and like a timing, momentum, like boxing momentum and timing is different. And what Connor was showing was like some of the basics of it, which a lot of basics work. So as I said, that's why I'm saying nothing against him. I don't think he was saying anything bad or wrong there necessarily. But at the same time, putting him, oh, would Connor, if you pursued boxing from the very beginning, maybe, because that's all he would do. But switching from MMA to boxing, how many MMA fighters you saw doing really, really well, like after going to boxing and like doing really, really well as a boxer, switching. At least it takes, at the very least, it takes time to get there, to reschool yourself. And even then, it's like, there's certain nuances that wouldn't be a problem in MMA and maybe would be an advantage. But in boxing, it just doesn't work. Like a good elite boxer would capitalize on those, let's call it, imperfections. Do you rope jump? Yes, I did the entire rope jumping yesterday. Astana, Kazakhstan. I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi, but right now in Vietnam, Nha Trang. Oh yeah. Good. Yeah, good for mentioning. Thanks for mentioning that. This weekend is the UFC Kevin host and is fighting Giga Chikadze. Yes, he has stiff boxing style like Tapuria. Well, I would say he's more karate slash kickboxing, but yeah, very stiff, very powerful, very good low kicks, body kicks in general. But like Giga's UFC career, unfortunately, been a little bit unfortunate with his injuries, and sometimes it's just injuries, wrong timing. I think his personality is also very, very like he's very calm, very self-centered, not that as flamboyant. So he's a very good fighter. Before MMA, before UFC specifically, he's been a kickboxing champion, and before that, he's been a Goju karate champion, like many multiple time champion. So he has a good, and I think he's focusing now. He's opening a striking gym, focus like boxing, kick, like mix of the karate, striking, MMA adapted striking dojo. I think that's very cool. Yes, the structure of MMA and boxing is different, but I think he's a good boxer. He just has a hard time letting go of the habits he uses in MMA, like kicks and other instincts. As you said, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you know how footwork matters in boxing, specifically boxing type of footwork. Or there are some boxers that didn't really use footwork, but there are certain body moves. Like there are certain nuances. They're uh, just more efficient for boxing, and MMA is usually not that. It's boxing is definitely because it's so highly concentrated, right, like above there, and obviously you also have a boxing footwork that's like a separate thing on its own. It's more of a chess game. I'm not saying MMA is not, but with MMA it's more like you understand you have different styles, like MMA evolved to the point that okay, this type of striking works, and here is okay, this type of wrestling offense and takedowns when you grab like a front, like for example, works on most of the people. And there's like elements, there's certain stance that is like allows you to more like a Muay Thai style of stance that allows you to react to the kicks and even be able to defend them. What in the boxing, just the pure boxing is like if you put pure boxing in MMA, it's actually a good example. If you watched Alexander Topuria versus Bigzat Alahman, you saw those 3 or 4 very heavy low kicks, and Bigzat is known for that. So because of the Alexander's like Philly shell type of boxing and literally having the shoulder here and having that leg right there, it was quite vulnerable for a takedowns. obviously he managed well, but you saw what happened to him. He basically was a little bit too unstable for the low kicks, and you never know. They could end well. They could end bad. He probably knew but he's still adapting and probably trying to adapt his boxing to MMA. But that one big vulnerability, at least in that fight, you could see very well. Also considering he's a good wrestler, so obviously he reacted to most of it well. But again, back to that front leg. Then in boxing, that's normal. This is the front leg that helps you to dive in, get there, boom. You know, like you literally get your distance there. But in MMA, one low kick and you're out of balance, literally. Okay, hello, hello, hello. I said, I said you need to check out Valahos. Very similar style, like Tupur. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Actually, I need to because I only seen that guy's highlights. I looked at some highlights. He's tough. I think unfortunately he is gonna win. Unfortunately, but I cheer for Giga. I hope he got it, and that might be his last fight or something. I'm not sure, but they've been talking about it. Canelo is the perfect example. Uses more body work than footwork. There's this old boxer, Nicolino Loche, uh, Argentinian. Like he barely used any footwork. He would just, but he was such a lazy drunk style. Like his control, like head sleeps, that kind of stuff was spectacular. And he barely used his footwork, but his body work and his body movements, his head movements were on another level. Maybe arguably one of the best in the boxing history. Hmm. Have you had an injury? Islam won as you predicted. Have you ever had an injury to your ankles or something like that? Stability comes from legs, the ankles, and footwork. Non-side looks a bit less stable than either. Well, I didn't have, fortunately, but I would definitely have if I did MMA. You know, is there nothing to beat grappling? Yeah, grappling, wrestling, offensive wrestling. The Canelo versus Bivol was one of my favorite fights. I mean, it just basically made like Bivol looks very good comparing to Canelo. Basically, it wasn't like a very good exchanging fight. To me, there are many better fights. That was quite one-sided for multiple reasons. Everyone who has a certain level above, I mean, Canelo has a certain good technique. He outboxed a lot of and like knocked out essentially a lot of technical boxers. But then there is certain level, and there are those a few like Crawford and Bivol, and to me Golovkin as well, because that one fight I think was like he won at least one that of the trilogy fights, the one that they had to draw. But essentially, yeah, like those three, they basically just outperformed him and specific type of footwork, and well, in Bivol's size, in Bivol's case, size also mattered. Like he, for his reach, for his style, that is like works more. He would do boom, 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 and then he would break his own pace. So yeah, he could use all his advantages against Canelo. Sometimes it's just not. It's just size. It is the reach. It is the weight class. It is footwork. It's mentality. It's how you slept the few nights before the fights. What was how good was your water weight cut and that kind of stuff. Okay, I will go. I'll read one more. That's I love Vivo versus Canon because it shows that difference between levels. Crawford versus Vivo. What do you think about it? I mean, Crawford getting older. I don't know. Um, I think Um, well, that's interesting. Bivol is at the top of his shape, and he's one of the most endurant boxers there. Like he can have such a high pace, and he can maintain it. So his timing, his pace is quite high. Whether the Crawford is just super smart, he he sees it. He sees it. So even if he would look slower comparing to him, he would just enforce his pace. At least he would try to. So I think he wouldn't try to match Bivol in his timing and in his speed and frequency. He would just try to break through the gaps because every pace, every rhythm has a gaps. And I think that's what Crawford would do. I think Crawford is the best when it comes to that. And there are very interesting fights where timing was the one that was earning the boxer a win, not the speed, not the power, timing and rhythm. Uh, okay, well, I gotta do another strength set, so you gotta come with me. Let me just get there. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Let me just get the chair. I use it as the leverage to uh, when I do pull-ups. It's like a platform, and then okay, again back to those three exercises: landmine press, farmer squat, Sintloy, and pull-ups. Today I'll do just the three sets. This is the third one because, as I said, I don't feel as strong as usually, but just making optimal training. One, two, and one more. Three and negative. Yeah. Ooh. One, two, three. Okay, that one's done. The farmer deadlift or squats. Crawford technical abilities is unmatched. Boxing is a skill. People will lose on the distance. Well, that's the thing. Timing and breaking opponents. Their written. Bivol sets very high written. That's one of his biggest advantages. He's just ahead of that movement, endurance. He can go like that for 12 rounds. But that can be stopped, not necessarily by outpaced outpacing. That is one of the ways. If Crawford, but Crawford wouldn't do that. He wouldn't waste his energy for that. What he would try to do would time it. He would just time his punches. In the beginning, it would seem probably that he's not like with Canelo. He wasn't throwing. He was countering a little bit or jabbing a little bit. He would let people throw more, set the cedar his pace, and then he would start finding the gaps. And that would start to frustrate and break the pace. It's like imagine doing something, and all of a sudden you're like not really landing. You're getting countered, and you try to switch, but that distorts your natural pace, and that becomes a little bit of a problem. The knowledge of boxing is immaculate. I'm just like I'm just learning myself every time. There's still a lot of things. There's still a lot of boxes I discover myself. But once I follow up a little bit and see and look at it, try to do the same thing they do, I just understand how hard it is. There are like so many factors. So appreciate it. That's very sweet of you. Appreciate it. Okay, squats. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm not strongest. I'm not the 100% of myself today. It doesn't matter because there are gonna be days that you don't feel 70% of your best self, and you feel like 50%, but then you try to do your best, most optimal work at that point, and that's what I think is important. How do you think you beat Elliot after you grab his neck, slap the nose of him? Well, both the Peruia brothers, Ilya obviously uses some of the kicks, but his stance is, I think, one of the things, especially for the longer opponent, one of the things they need to time low kicks well. But that also should be careful because Apturo, as you call him, that's funny. It cracks me up. I mean, and I think he should take it as a funny thing too. You know, you gotta laugh at yourself sometimes. But you cannot do it too often because obviously he's a wrestler. He can grab your leg, and that's a lot of. I think you shouldn't underestimate Tapuri. Forget that he's a wrestler and black belt BJJ. So just throwing those kicks obviously shouldn't make it predictable. But one of the tools on the opponent's side would be low kicks, probably mostly on the front leg because of both Tapuria's standing. So like they have quite similar boxing stance. That you know is slightly a vulnerability that can be accumulated on. I'm not saying that they wouldn't adapt, but that could be something that you work with because there's things like ribs and liver and legs. They are underestimated when it comes to the damage because once you actually damage it enough, once you time those few shots properly, all of a sudden for them it's hard to move. And for Tupuria, there is crucial for him to be able to move forward to actually do his boxing timing and apply those punches. Once he's not able to cut his distance properly, well, it's so that one is tactical nuance that could be used. Using it in a real fight against him, that's another thing. You know, like good luck with that. But that's something that I think, if you look at it, might be a possible thing to see and maybe just maybe accumulate on. Would you be willing to train with someone clearly stronger, and if it means getting your face smashed? Those are exactly the kind of sparring sessions or fights that really push you forward. I refuse to do hard spars. I absolutely willing to train with people better than me, bigger, stronger, technically skilled champions. Absolutely, men, women, doesn't matter. But I'm telling you, you don't learn from the heavy sparrings. Actually, exposing yourself long term for you getting closer to CT, and you create the resistance in your brain for actually being able to do that. Yeah, there are places for heavy sparrings, but more importantly, there are places for a real fight. So everything else is about to recreate the pressure, and the technical sparrings and playful sparrings are actually the ones where you learn the most and where you're able to establish the new arsenal and also task-oriented sparrings as well. But should you train with someone who is stronger, better? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I hope his wife doesn't win. I'm not. I don't know what it is, but you know what? When you're okay, when your slash ex-husband, father of your child, like her daughter, their daughter, gonna grow up and she's gonna find out about it. That she decided to do something like a court with him. I highly doubt that he was the one who really wanted it. I don't know, like if that would be a case for me, I would be like, you know what? Even though there's misunderstanding between us, let's just settle it down calmly, because you're a champ. Like your daughter is gonna see you. You're like you're fighting for the belt. You have to defend your belt, and it's your daughter. She's gonna see you. Like I want you to win because you're her father. Like that's what is the bad thing, people, families fall apart. But okay, let's say you don't want to be together anymore. Something happens, infidelity, this and that. Okay, you're two adults. You gotta, you have to find a way how to deal with it. But once you have a common kid, you're a family. You need to realize that you are a family, and you need to care about each other. Unless it wasn't like really, really nasty violence, or like or any type of domestic violence that is physical, and it's absolutely damaging for kids to see. Um, but if it was just between you because you didn't agree on something and you decided to divorce, at least realize that you gotta be family, you gotta be friendly, you gotta care about each other to a certain extent because your daughter is gonna see about that. So the fact that this thing is happening, I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe they can settle down, and it's gonna be, it's gonna come out better than a court process where they have literally fight each other for custody. That is nasty. That's not good. Their daughter grows up, sees that at some point, and she's like, "What the fuck, mom and dad?" We found a mature and relationship savior than before GTA 6. I never would think that someone would say that, but I guess thank you. Yeah, anyways. If we're adults, let's be adults, right? Let's protect kids. Okay, chin ups. I'm probably going to be able to do a couple. And very slow. Okay. Yeah, I'm done with the strength. Tired. Like absolutely exhausted. Pain. But that's okay. By the way, the Christmas tree. It's a Christmassy environment here. Whew. And it's a son, not a daughter. Actually, the first son of Ilya is not a common son with his wife. That was from another woman. And so far as I know, you can double check yourself right now if you want. His son Hugo is Ilya having a full custody for his son Hugo or something like that, or at least it's settled with the mother of Hugo. So Hugo is not Georgina's son. Technical sparring can give you room to try new things and new moves, which hard sparring cannot. It's always scary to try new things. It's hard sparring. Yeah, it's basically a resistance in the brain, and your brain is a powerful thing. That's why the concept of working smarter rather than just harder, or work smart and hard rather than just hard, those concepts are changing. Um, okay, let me just continue. Okay, a little bit more footwork, a little bit more back work, but tomorrow is going to be more entertaining, guys. Hop in around like 6 o'clock, 6 p.m., which is like was hour ago almost. It's going to be a sparring day tomorrow, and I'll do sparring. Others are going to do sparring, so I think you're going to be able to just enjoy it and get quite entertained. Okay. Okay, since I'm done basically with uh, the hardest part, which was strength today, I'm just gonna go a little bit more active. I'm just basically go a little bit harder, not harder, but like faster. yeah, a little bit heavy on the legs today as well. Can we talk about fighting? Yes, please. This is boxing. We talk about MMA a little bit too, but I do train boxing. Yeah, I'm exhausted. Gotta rest. Sometimes you feel when you should rest. One of the moments, especially tomorrow for sparring, or as I just rest, recover. And tomorrow evening, I'm gonna be some sparring day. I'll try to learn something more, and because I'll be able to uh, film, live stream basically, I'm also gonna be able to rewatch and see, my mistakes, things that needs to be worked on better, all that kind of stuff. So it's an exciting journey of the trying to put a thought to it, go through a progress, and learn something from others as well. uh, well, give some justice to Anthony Joshua. He's before a professional and like being an actual heavyweight champion, he was an Olympic champion. Yeah, people might dislike his style, saying that he's not working well, he's not as good, he's just being physical. Well, his results say talk for him. So even Usyk tried to give him some justice for him. So let's not compare. Yeah, he's fighting Jake Paul for whatever fucked up reason. I don't know. We shall see. In Ilya versus Max rematch, John Anik is gonna mention the both of these fighters having developed the custody battle. I think I'll remember when if he says it. Yeah, I'll remember your words. I'm living in Vietnam, Nha Trang at this point. Originally, I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi. How much do you weight? I weight 50. Today I was 55. So I'm fluctuating between 53 to 55 at this point. But I don't have to do it now, but I'm aiming to go lower, obviously, before the closer my potential fight, which would be probably in 5-6 months period, would come up. I would try to go all the way to 48. That's like the lowest weight class for me possible, and I would try there first, and maybe 51. But I'm not looking forward to go. I know people my height, my size that compete at 54, but also see them not being in optimal shape. Like a lot of extra weight, so it's more like the weight cutting issues. So it's better to be able to do restrictive nutrition focused diet, a little bit of the water cut, just to be able to recoup the weight for the actual fight. But yeah, then you're good. So I want to carry around, if I carry consistently 53, 52, I think that should be a good weight for me. Even now, what I'm carrying is not a bad weight. Are you living in Vietnam? Yes, at this point, me and my husband live here in Vietnam. Usually he's in the chat, but he's been working lately a lot at night, and he's been sleeping now and resting. So he's not moderating much. Uh, what time we have? Okay, we have basically yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Actually, yeah, that's one thing I can do a little bit is the rope jumping. But I'm telling you guys, today I feel heavy and tired. I'm thinking between doing some extra cardio within the rope jumping or just rest. Flex. Let me see. Like I think my back definition is getting quite crazy. I'm not master at the posing, but yeah, I'm quite happy about the definition. Not only definition, but functionality of those muscles. Definitely getting better. My lower body still, again, I naturally have heavier lower body than upper body. So for me, cutting extra few just to reduce it because it's gonna come off a little bit more from the lower body should be a good thing. Pereira regularly does hard sparring. Not very good for the longevity, but Pereira also hits hard. Pereira, his ability, the way he does, like that's the thing, guys. You don't grow chin. You don't really grow chin. All you get is actually a drunkish, highish, almost like a constant state of it. If you do that basically every single day, and you can see a lot of fighters kind of started declining cognitively over time. So you don't need to train getting punched. You need to train reaction, defense, and combined with the combos, uh, punch heavy on the back. And when you do sparring, same with the sparring partner, you have communication, understanding. You don't really go that heavy on the head. Try to go. Obviously, they're gonna be like a fast, like 1-2, and that might land. That's fine. But we're talking about like you would do in a real fight, like take out someone's head. Even like I remember Lomachenko's episode. I don't remember the guy, his name, but that was literally he was knocking, and he was like literally telling his corner to stop the fight and or referee to stop the fight because the guy was literally like he could give him a brain damage, and he chose not to, and that was that's the problem. This attitude, like you already put that much in the fight, and imagine doing twice as much on sparring, just thinking that's going to prepare you well. It's gonna take away your brain capacity, your cognitive capacity in long term. Gonna give you a brain injury essentially, expose you for that. Whether when you can go heavy to the body though, and try to do bump bump, and just kind of throw this like use the helmet, use the mouse guard obviously, hydrate before the sparrings, even if those are light sparring. Hydrate, meaning not only drink water, get electrolytes. You need you need a normal amount of sodium, meaning salt, not through the processed food, but like a certain amount of salt. You need it. You need some sodium. You need potassium. You need calcium. You need magnesium. Those are like the most essential electrolytes. Obviously, you get it through nutrition. You have specialized fitness products that are runners are using those like the gel type of. Someone mentioned that in the previous live stream. So yeah, this is the like you need to build up the routine around the health for your brain when you do martial arts. Okay, so yeah, guys. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up today. I tried my best. I did a little bit. I did a little work. I'm gonna just prepare for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a sparring day. Around now it's 7 p.m. At 6 p.m. the sparring is gonna start. So I'm gonna put the live stream on. Already agreed with the coach. I'm gonna be able just hop in and see me in emotion, but also others. It's gonna there's so many other guys and characters. Some of them taller, shorter, different experiences. So it's nice to see who's working and how hard they're working. Some of them basically work, moderately, just enough for you to grow. Some of them go hard because, well, you're more equal on the levels and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that's gonna be fun. So, and it's gonna be first live stream where I show sparrings. So hop in, try to join. What if I constantly spam Monster in between training? Monster, is that the energy drink? Can you inflate one balloon in 30 seconds? It's challenge. I think I can. Uh, an actual real balloon, nothing else. Yeah, I don't have any balloons right now. Thanks. Ooh. Yeah, like Red Bull. Yeah, I mean, energy drinks is one of the worst thing you can get. Take. Absolutely. It's funny because those are the biggest sponsors of the thing. So one day, if I get sponsored by Red Bull, I would just say, great for energy. No, like I mean, just telling you, energy drinks. I mean, don't get me wrong. The energy drinks, like caffeine based, and every energy drink is caffeine, but there are certain different brands and they're more athlete oriented. The ones you're buying like a Monster and you get Red Bull that are for the everyday consumption for people, high in sugar, then yeah, they're like a 0 calorie too. And you have a specialized products that are more for a distance runners and athletes. They're basically also the usual high, like carby and has some nutritional profile. But whatever you do, even if you need to drink it as an energy, it's basically don't go too heavy on it. That's one thing. You can use it as the energy booster. Same with the caffeine and with coffee or dark tea. You take it, okay, but if you take it too often, too much, you're gonna start messing up your microbiome. If you don't eat enough, if you don't have a good nutritional diet profile, another problem if you go heavy on the drinks and supplements. Supplements are for addition. They're called supplements because You're supplementing it along with your main diet routine. Yeah, if I don't forget, I'll try. I'll try to buy some balloons, but I haven't seen balloons here, honestly. Okay, guys. Well, I gotta go now. Thanks for hopping in, and yeah, see you tomorrow. Basically, in tomorrow's live stream. Bye.